Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters of BFD TV. Welcome back to this special edition of Real Talk, coming to you from outside City Hall, the magnificent City Hall that is in Bradford, a historic building. I'm talking today to a very, very special person who comes from Bradford, a man who set the mold in this country, who became the first Muslim Lord Mayor of any city or town in the United Kingdom, an achievement that has now been emulated by many, many others. So he broke the ceiling, he was the one who set the trend, and he is the inspiration that others had to follow. And therefore I'm just deeply honored, as I said, to have with me Councillor Muhammad Ajib Saab. Councillor Saab, before we went for the break, we were talking about how politics has changed, and you were sharing your thoughts with us about how politics has changed. And maybe what needs to be re-looked as to how people are committed to politics. What I was going to say was, do you feel that people who are getting into politics, whichever party they go with, that they are more required to toe the party line, and therefore they have to follow the party line? Or do you think that you probably had a little bit more independence maybe at that time? Or do you feel that they've lost that independence? Or they still have it?
Yeah, I'm not expecting, and I'm not asking any newcomers to politics from our communities to rebel against their own parties and not really toe the lines of their political parties of which they have been members or they have been elected on behalf of. I think that it's a very delicate balance one has to maintain. I think that I believe that my conscience is more important than some of the political issues which might sort of ask me to support a certain sort of cause.
So what would you say to people at the moment, and people like me, who have been supporters of the Labour Party for over 40 years, that we feel that the Labour Party, for example, on Kashmir and on Palestine, has dramatically changed, right? The Labour Party was a very strong supporter of Palestinians, the Palestinian state, of Kashmir, of anti-apartheid in South Africa, and as I said, I had the fortune to meet Nelson Mandela 3 times, but it seems that that Labour Party has changed.
Yeah.
And therefore, I don't feel that that Labour Party is my party anymore.
I think that one has to consider very seriously about the issues and then decide yourself where you stand on that issue. I'm not talking about that on every issue you criticize your own party and their policies. I'll give you one example of myself. I think during the Iraqi war, I remember community held a meeting here of Tari in the month of Ramadan. And if you could recall, probably your memory, there was a bombardment in Iraq during the month of Ramadan, where I think that few thousand people, innocent people, were killed. And that bombardment was made by American and the Alliance. And I was asked to speak, and I spoke for 5 minutes, and I said that I regard Saddam as a brutal dictator, and he's killed his own people, and I have I don't condone his actions. I actually condone most vehemently, but at the same time, I think the Bush and Blair, they are no less murderers. For me, they are also murderers, right? And I made that statement, very calculated one, after very serious thought and consideration given to it. And the next day there was sort of headlines in the local newspaper, in the Yorkshire Post and TNA, that a deputy leader of the council accuses his own leader as being a murderer. I was criticized by even the local paper's editorial that the language I used was very intemperate and it was not polite and this and that. And I received a telephone call from 10 Downing Street and all these kind of things. I said, it's a matter of conscience. In politics, if you have no ethics and you say that, oh, I have no conscience, then perhaps I may be just one exception, but I will not go into politics.
So you are
So
willing,
what I'm
you're
saying,
willing, yeah.
that once you are justified, hit hard, it doesn't matter whether it's your own party or someone else. But you must have a justification. It's no good to shout about it when you have no reason for it, or you are doing it because of your glory or whatever it is. But I think the people outside there, they are not fools. Ordinary people know what this man is saying, whether he's saying is true or he's saying for the sake of publicity. My point which I made and the allegation I made against those people, after 4 or 5 years after the war, millions of people in this country said the same thing. Bring Blair to the court, the International Court of Justice, accuse him and make him responsible for the killing of so many people. So the point is, the point is, this is what I'm asking some of these youngsters. If there is an issue, and for instance, you've raised the issue of Palestine and the Kashmir. Now the party, if they're not taking any notice, no one else can be more effective than those who are within the system and within the party. Because you can bring criticism through the, from the grassroots level, from the ward level, constituency level, but then if you are a member of the parliament or if you hold any position of any importance, then I think what you say there, then people will take notice. It's no good to say to the Muslim audience only in the mosque that, oh yes, I'm doing this for Israel, I'm doing against Israel, I'm doing this for Palestine, I'm doing this for Kashmir. When you go there, you remain silent and you say you probably say to your boss, oh, it's okay, I'll handle this, I know how to sort of, I don't believe in those kind of things.
I think
no.
That's a very honest, comment that you've shared
I've been
with people.
honest.
Yep. And I think that is why when people in Batley and Spen are being challenged as to why they're not supporting Labour any longer, a lot of people are making those very same type of comments.
They have
that
to
the leadership is not listening to us, it's taken the Muslim vote, not just in Batley and Spen, throughout the country.
In life, if you don't challenge, and you don't fight against something, nothing will happen, no one will listen to you. I mean, some of us, we have been fighting against all kinds of discrimination, racism and inequalities and social injustice and so on and so forth. Where we have made a bit of difference, I think that I should be proud of that.
I think that is why I've taken the stance that after 48 years, I want to send a clear message to the leader of the Labour Party.
Why not?
That he doesn't have my support anymore. And that's what I've said earlier as well. I mean, we're coming nearly to the end of the program. Ishtiaq, you've written the book, obviously, and unfortunately, it's my fault that we couldn't get a copy of the book here so we can show our viewers. But if you do want to get the book, which I would highly recommend that you do, where can they get it from, Ishtiaq?
They can contact me.
Contact Ishtiaq Ahmed?
Yep.
At where?
On my
your
0799002173.
All right, your phone number. All right, I mean, we'll try and get that for you as well. But I mean, obviously, you've been the inspiration, he's been the inspiration, and you wrote the book, right? How long did it take? It's a vast time frame to cover. You'll have to be very brief, sorry.
It's taken us almost over 3 years.
Over 3 years?
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
We wanted to bring the book out almost a year ago, and then COVID happened, and a lot of things got delayed.
Right.
It's been enormously enriching journey for us to capture his life.
I'm sure, yes.
Concisely. And the balance for us was that we wanted to produce a book which is easy to access, easy to read, but also captures all the things that Ajib Saab has been saying.
I'll make sure, inshallah, when I see you next time, I'll buy a copy from you as well. Ajib Saab,
I'm writing my own.
You're writing another one as well?
I'm writing my biography.
All right, your biography. Well, I'm sure our viewers will look forward to that time when that happens, and we'll maybe, inshallah, we'll feature again. So Ishtiaq, thank you very much for coming and sharing a few thoughts with us today.
Absolutely, it's been a privilege.
Huzur, I cannot thank you enough for all the work that you've done.
Thank you very much.
No, I mean breaking a mold here. Even when you became the Lord Mayor, that inspired so many people in this country to go into politics. You know, and that was a sort of iconic moment in the life of the Muslim community in this country. We hardly even touched about that. Maybe we'll have to do another program to say, how was your Lord Mayoral year? Because like you said, it was a very challenging time with the Hanifa affair as well. So maybe inshallah we'll ask you to come back.
Thank you.
As far as I know, England are still winning 1-0. So let's hope that that score remains and that we win and then we move on to the next round.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I hope that you found today's program some enlightening and it's empowered you in a way to look at politics differently to the way we're doing it at this moment in time. We need to sort of, as I say, up our game. We have seen in the last few days, particularly in Batley and Spen, some of the worst in our community happening. The way some people have behaved. And I'm surprised that some of the candidates whose alleged supporters some of these people are, they're not that I'm aware of, have actually told their supporters not to behave in the way they have. And I would say, make sure you think very carefully before you cast your vote. It's not just about one or two issues, it's about a broad range of issues that we need to be concerned about. Thank you very much to the two of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, I'll see you soon next week. In the meantime, may Allah be with you. Take care and make du'as for every one of us.
Inshallah.